Hey guys, my name is Ty from Nepeto. I'm a six-figure Amazon seller, and today I'm going to be going into what IP complaints are, how you can avoid them, and if you should worry if you happen to get one. So let's get right into it. Hey guys, so here we are looking into IP complaints. So this is the big, bad, scary two words that everyone always talks about in online arbitrage and just the Amazon space in general. So let's talk about what are they and should you worry? So let's talk about kind of the different reasons that you could get an IP complaint. If you get them, is it the end of the world? So first off, an IP complaint is an intellectual property complaint from a brand requesting or forcing you to stop selling their product, meaning when you get an IP complaint, a brand doesn't want you selling their item, so they'll either kick you off the listing, you'll just get booted off, or you'll get a mark on your account and you'll get a warning. Pretty much all the time on Amazon, it goes like you get a mark on your account and you get booted off the listing. So what are the signs to avoid a product that may give you an IP complaint? So the first of which is the brand being on the listing. Look at the item and then look at the seller that has the most reviews, if they have a lot of reviews. And it's called, Bob's Pet Food, and then Bob's Pet Food Official or Bob's Pet Food National or something is selling the item. You want to stay off that listing. The reason is brands that are on the listing are going to want all of that sales traffic to go to them, and they're not going to want to share it with anyone else. So I would always avoid selling on a listing that other brands, that the brand itself is selling on. Number two is there being a sharp drop in the seller count. So that means it's selling at about, maybe 15 to 20 sellers, and then it drops down to, 3, 2, 1. When it does multiple like that and it's a sharp drop off within like a day or a couple of days, that means everyone just got booted off the listing, and that is the easiest way to identify if this is an IP risk. If you look in the past on the graph, and you look for any of those sharp drop-offs in offer count, that is an item that the brand is sending multiple IP complaints on. So the next thing is if it triggers IP alert. So I'm going to go into the specifics on I'm going to open some products in a second here and show you examples of all these things. But IP Alert is a program. You could, I think it's $100 a year, and it's pretty reliable, and it has past IP complaint history on it, so it'll alert you if an item is going to be an IP risk. Seller Amp, I would be careful of. If Seller Amp shows red IP mark, usually it's pretty bad, but it will show a yellow IP mark on a lot of items that aren't actually IP risks. I always default to checking the drop in seller count, and that is a more reliable indicator of than Seller Amp. Seller Amp is most times going to be yellow on a lot of big brands, but that's just because it's a big brand, not because there's past IP complaints on it. So let's go into some of these products. I'm going to jump into some of these listings right now. Let's go. All right, guys, so this is the first product. This is a Yeti Rambler 10-ounce wine tumbler. If you haven't heard of Yeti before, I'm sure you have. Water bottle company. They make coolers, stuff like that. They're pretty popular. I would say a lot of resellers sell Yeti stuff. However, they are known to be an IP issue. So I'm going to talk about when I was looking at this listing, what I saw as a red flag. So if we look at the Keeper graph, it doesn't look too bad. It's pretty flat, big jump here. And you could see, take a look at this big jump. You could see it was being sold by Yeti Authorized. And you see they have 103,000 reviews. That is the brand Yeti itself. So like I said before, number one, do not sell an item that another brand is on. They're not currently selling this item, so this is something you may be able to sell. However, it is one of those things that I would be very precautious about. And if you take a look, where I first saw it was going in buy box statistics. We see that Yeti they were winning buy box. Of course, when they sold it, they were winning all the buy box. But you can see they have 103,000 reviews. This is actually Yeti. So, if they decide they want to start selling this product again, this was back in August, so a while back. But if they do decide to start selling the product again, they are going to start kicking everyone off of this listing. Looks like when they sold it, there's still some people on here they're letting on. Then it dropped off. Yeah, so I would stay away from this. This is a more precautious one. This isn't as bad, but I would still not sell on this one. So let's go to the next one. All right, guys. So the next product is another Yeti item, the Yeti Rambler bottle strap cap. So let's go down to the Keepa. We look at the price action. It's not that bad. It's pretty flat, relatively flat throughout the year. But if we take a look at this offer count, this is what I was talking about with the drops in offer count. So here, 11 to 7, not bad. So what you want to see is with the BSR right here, the green graph, every time the green graph decreases, sharp drop off, you're often going to see a drop off in offer count. This is because people are selling out of the item. So it's more in demand, more selling, people sell out, so the sellers fall off the listing. What you don't want to see, though, is these drop down to almost 1 or 0. Let's go to the whole history. A lot of sellers on here. Still low BSR. Goes up a little bit, but we also see it fall off to 1 seller as it's actually getting less popular. So this is more of an IP risk here. So they just fall off. And the next one, I'm going to show you one that's more definitive, but you want to avoid these sharp drop-offs. Look at the brand is on the listing right here, Yeti authorized, when these sellers fell off. And Yeti authorized is on the listing here, and the sellers fall off. So this is because they're on the listing and they don't want the competition, so everyone gets kicked off. Still on the listing, drop off. Drop off, and now that they're off they're back on the listing there. Now they're back on, but this is not a safe listing. I would definitely stay away from this. So now let's go to one that's more of a clear drop off. So this is a Lego Christmas tree. You guys may have seen it before. Oftentimes Lego isn't that bad. I haven't heard of too many IP issues with them, but let's take a look at the Keepa. As we can see, good price action, pretty flat. But look at right here. It's a huge issue. 28 to 5. This is definitely, if it's not IP, it's something else not great at all. I think this is IP. It could be something else, but this is a bad listing regardless. But this is what it's going to look like when it's an IP complaint, when it's a bunch of IPs. Almost everyone's taken off the listing, except for some, these may have been authorized sellers, the 5 right there. But this is what you want to avoid, these sharp drop-offs, or even a sharp drop-off within a few days. But this is a prime example of stay away from this listing. All right, so let's go back into the presentation. All right, so now that we looked at those products and exactly what it looks like when an item is going to give you an IP complaint, what do we do if we get one? So is it the end of the world? So this is what you're going to do. So you can appeal it if you can get an invoice from an authorized seller, an authorized wholesaler or distributor that shows that you bought those goods from a reliable source that was authorized to sell them to you. If you just bought them from like Walmart or something, it's not going to be easy. You could still try to submit those receipts, but it doesn't hurt, but that's not going to help you at all. So you're going to want to try to appeal it However, if you can't appeal it, or you appeal it and it doesn't do anything, then it's going to fall off your account in 6 months. So it's not the end of the world. If you get one IP complaint, your account isn't going to just get taken down. I know people that have sold $200,000 to $300,000 a month on Amazon, and they have a lot of account health risks. They open up their account and there's 5 to 10 IP issues and other account health issues, and they're completely fine. So if you just get one, it's not the end of the world. Those will fall off within 6 months. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. So that is IP complaints, what they are, and if you should worry about them. If you have any questions at all, leave them below. When I first started out, I was very precautious about IP complaints. And once I learned how to do my due diligence, I was a little less cautious because I knew what I was doing. So don't worry, guys, you're going to be okay. But like I said, if you have any questions, leave them down below. And you have a good one, guys. Peace.